Good afternoon. It is almost 2 o'clock on Saturday. Anybody watching? Who's doing? Who's been? My car says it's 27 degrees outside right now. I'm sure there's a lovely breeze and everything, but I just got out of the shower and I'm hot as fuck. I didn't even have a hot shower. Oh my goodness. So we are going to make a Timmy's run. And I'm actually going to go hit the Walmart today. I haven't been, listen, I do not do Walmart. I gave up on Walmart around the time of the Rona because they just, actually it was probably shortly before that, because they just never have anything anymore. Like they're always out of everything that I happen to need. So, yeah, I completely gave up on Walmart. Screw Walmart. That and their help is not helpful at all. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know where anything is. And my buddy actually had an employee there wearing a little Walmart vest and everything saying, I don't work here. Oh yes. Oh yes. Fuck Walmart. But we're going to Walmart because I hear they have these crock pot seasoning packs and I'm going the wrong way. That's okay. We'll go to the other things. We'll switch it up a little bit. And I really want to try these seasoning packs. When I get paid on Wednesday, I want to pick up a beef roast and do it in the slow cooker. So, I want to try one of these seasoning packs. Oh. So if I find them, and they actually have them, and not just the empty display box, which is usually the way at Walmart, I will probably grab, like, depending on how much they are, I can't see them being too much, but whatever it is. It is Ontario, and groceries are stupid expensive. I will grab, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 of them. I don't do a whole lot of beef roasts. And actually, if they have the same idea for like a pork roast, I would grab a box of those. Because the boys do like pork. Pork is generally less expensive than beef. Why I've decided to go this way for Walmart, but whatever. Because the Timmy's down here is better. The Timmy's down by the Walmart were extremely rude to my buddy once, and we've never been back, ever. I don't go back on principle. Fucking talk to anybody that way, never mind my buddy. I don't fucking think so. That man is like my brother. Fucking talk to him that way. He's like, actually, the day that happened, he didn't tell me about it until we left the store because he knew the scene I would have caused. Holy shit. I was livid when he told me. So we will go to the other Timmy's. There are 2 Timmy's in this town that I will frequent. This is the second one. So we will go here and then go to the Walmart. That is how we're doing things today. So I was going, well, I am going to be working on some videos this weekend. I'm not going to Big Daddy's. He was working this morning anyway, and then he's got to start getting stuff sorted and packed away and whatever, because he's got like a week left at that place, and then he's moving to his new place. So it's best I just stay out of the way. Listen, I woke up with a thumping headache this morning. I still have a dull throb. I cannot. Listen, I love Big Daddy, okay? He's my man. But there are times where he just drives me absolutely batshit crazy, and he knows he's doing it on purpose. And it takes everything in my power not to react. I'm a very reactive person. But I know that's what he's looking for, and I'm also very spiteful, so... Listen, I'm a Taurus, okay? So, when I have a headache, I just don't have the willpower to not react. I will totally react. And it will not be pretty, so... And I don't think he's ever truly seen me lose my shit. He's seen me upset, and he's seen me worried and whatever, but he has never seen me lose my absolute shit. Once I hit my 20s, my temper kind of leveled out. I was forced into self-control once I had kids. Self-control was forced upon me. Temper got a little under control. Nope, we're not going this time. I hate making left turns. I just hate it so much. They need to do it so you're on like a slight angle so you can like see around the car that's directly in front of you. Does that make sense? Because unless you have the advance, I've sat like for 3 lights because there was no advance and I couldn't see around the car directly in front of me to safely make my turn. Like, you know, I realize we're all going to die one day, but that is not the way I want to go, okay? And especially if my kids are in the car, yeah, that we're just not taking that kind of chance, okay? Yeah, it's not too bad here today. You go on, sir. I wonder, should I take my car to the car wash today? I have not taken my car to the car wash at all this summer. I really should. We're into August now, people. And I think come September, I need to make an appointment. Oh, look at my birthmark is just going crazy. I'm so hot. What was I saying? Oh, I really need to make an appointment around September to get my car undercoated. I've never done that in the, 5 years I've owned this car. I keep meaning to. Oh, Timmy's is advertising the ATM. We have USD and Canadian inside. Good for you, Timmy's. Oh. I would not want to be the one in charge of the ATM. When I worked at a coffee time in the town where I grew up, they put me in charge of the ATM. I was not amused. Listen, that job gave me more responsibility than I have now as a fully functioning adult with kids. Like, Jesus Christ. I was like a bartender. I was like a bouncer. I had to tell people when the students when their 15 minutes or whatever the fuck was up, and if they wouldn't leave, I had to somehow convince them to leave it. Plus, I was in charge of my own till. I was the one they called to fix any of the tills. Yes, can I get an extra large double, please? And that'll be all. Thank you. They gave me a key to the tills because I lived like 5 minutes up the road. So if anybody had a problem with their till or whatever, they would call me and I had to go and deal with the till because I was the closest one there with it. Listen, I was not amused. And then when we got this ATM, I was in charge of the ATM. I was given all the codes and whatever, and I'm like, but still, what was minimum wage back then? Like $6.50 an hour or some fucking shit like that. Like, are you serious, bro? I did that job for 2 years, and I told him to go suck a dick. Like, fucking, I asked for a raise. He was like, oh, come sit on my knee and we'll talk. I was like, yeah, bye-bye. Come sit on my, literally patting his leg, come sit on my knee and we'll talk. Get the fuck out of here, bud. Really? Take your $6.50 an hour and shove it where the sun don't shine, fucking pedo. Oh my god. Yeah, that was the worst job I ever had in my life. I've had some shitty jobs. That was the worst. The most stressful. I used to wake up hearing a little doorbell all the time. I'd literally sit up in my sleep. Can I help you? That was my first job right out of high school. Fucking sucked ass. Debit, please. Thank you so much. You too. Yeah, that job was insane. And no, actually, it wasn't right out of high school. I think I'd finished my first round of college. Well, college. I went to. I got my makeup certificate. So all the makeup. I'm a certified makeup artist. Beauty makeup, photography makeup, special effects makeup, camouflage makeup. So it's like medical makeup. So like dealing with scars and hyperpigmentation and stuff like that. Yeah. So after I finished that, I was putting resumes in at theater houses and TV studios and all that kind of stuff. And in between, I was also putting in at coffee shops and restaurants and bars. And because, you know, I mean, I was 19 at that point and I could serve alcohol, so I put in for bartending jobs and waitressing jobs. And I figured if I'm going to work a job I don't want to work, I'm going to work it at the time that I want, which was nights. You cannot see around these corners. Actually, I need to be over here now. We're going to the Walmart. Yeah, worst fucking job ever. You could not pay me to work in any kind of coffee shop. Jesus Christ. I remember when Boo Boo, I think his first job right out of high school was at the Tim Hortons. And I told him, listen, just don't put up with their shit. No, he was still in school. I'm pretty sure he was still in school because they tried to schedule him one day while he would be in class. And then gave him a hard time about it. I was like, listen, do you want me to go talk to them? And he was like, no, I'll deal with it. I'm a big boy now. He's so cute. I was like, all right, because I'll sort that shit out real fucking quick. Tell a student, fuck school, get in here. Shut up. Number one, that's illegal. Come on, man. Oh. Another one of these left turn situations. Yeah, and he found it very stressful too. A place like Tim Hortons would kill me because at least the place I worked at did not have a drive-through, so I didn't have to contend with that. I just had to deal with whatever was in front of me, right? And the customers were fine. I mean, the students were just being students, right? Like, they were giving me a hard time and, you know, whatever. But I mean, they were just being teenagers. Teenagers are going to teenage, and teenagers are vile, evil, horrific creatures. Like, fuck, I hate teenagers. I've said before, I hated myself until I was like 20. Well, fuck, what am I now? 48? Good Lord. You know, like, yeah, teenagers are just vicious. So it really wasn't them. The problem was the owner of the place that I was working at, right? My boss. He was an absolute douche. And I understand the no loitering thing. However, you know, I mean, what are you gonna do? What am I gonna do? Really? Like, all right, guys, your half hour's up. You gotta go. Nope, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna shoot the shit with our friends and we're gonna smoke because we're on our break or we're skipping or whatever. What am I gonna do? Call the police and tell them what? Teenagers are teenagering, you know? They're not listening. You gotta come and get them out of here. Get out. Like, that's just stupid. Oh, I forget how crazy busy it gets over here. God, I hate going to Walmart. Yeah, it was just the worst fucking job ever. The worst. And I mean, like I said, I've worked some shitty jobs. I worked at a place called the Pickle Barrel out in Vaughan, like just outside Toronto. And that place, I mean, listen, I worked it was like a walk-up window, not a drive-through window. It was in a mall, so there was like a walk-up window, right, where you could order and whatever and get takeout. That's what I worked. And that was a crazy job. That job was like 2 transfers away. It was easily a half-hour bus ride. Easy. Probably more. Closer to an hour, maybe. There and back every day. So my shift started at like 8 o'clock or some shit. I was up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Probably 4. Probably closer to 4. Then I'd have to get ready, right? And, you know, I was serving, so hair done, a little bit of makeup done, uniform shirt. It was like a black shirt. And the tie was awesome, and it was an old school tie. Like, you actually had to tie it. I had to get my dad to do it for me because I didn't know how to tie a tie. I'm a chick, okay? So my dad tied the tie for me, but the tie had, like, pickles on it. It was an awesome, it was just the craziest thing ever. I loved it. I'm probably the only one that did. I love that tie. It was great. The colors on it were fantastic. I got you, girl. There you go. And yeah, and my manager at the takeout window was a bit of a wetbag, but I mean, he was fine. He had no spine. And then the guys that owned the restaurant, he was some sort of Indian man, and by Indian man, I don't know, Muslim, Pakistani, something like that. He was hilarious. He was such a nice man. I really liked him. His name was Poppy. He was a great man. He was so funny. Made you feel very comfortable, very welcome. He was very patient. Really, really nice guy. And then there was 2 Russian men. The one, I can't remember his name. He was super, super nice. Super nice. He was the one, he and Poppy are the ones that trained me. And yeah, super, super nice guys. Really funny, very encouraging, very, Very, very nice guys. And then the other guy, and he was ginormous. He was like the biggest dude of all three of them. Poppy was kind of a little bit taller than me, but like he was a beanpole. He was super skinny. Big, fluffy, like a Burt Reynolds style mustache. Like, I mean, like that there gave him all the cred in the world. He was awesome. And I think the other guy's name was Mark. Super nice guy. And he was kind of, you know, wide in the chest, and, you know, everybody's taller than me, but he was tall and whatever. The other guy, the third guy, was ginormous. My nose came up to his belly button, okay? And there's a reason I know that. So he was giving me and my takeout manager, he gave us all the menus one day and said, you know, here's the corrections you need to make on the menus. So we had to do that, plus do the takeout windows, okay, plus answer phones. Like, there was a lot. Takeout was crazy. There was always a lot going on there. And by the end of the shift, we had to have every single menu done, okay? So my shift comes to an end, or started coming to an end. I think I had about an hour left. I worked morning until afternoon, and then when the dinner shift started is when I was done, right? So it was a long day. It was a long day. So we're doing our thing, and we're taking turns, my manager and I, doing this, right? Because the two of us were charged to do it, and that leaving one other person to do the entire takeout. It was nuts. So we were just sort of taking turns, right? Well, this guy come back and took all the men. Are you done? We're like, yep. He went back, started going through them, and he found a bunch that we missed, I guess. And instead of saying, you know, you're going to have to stay behind and finish, he lost his ever-loving mind. He was screaming, yelling. He was screaming profanity at us. He was calling me. He called me everything but a white woman. He was calling me a whore. He called me the C word, and that was the end of it right there. I literally walked up. I stood on his toes, and I literally had, like, my nose came up to his belly button. I'm looking up at him. I was like, listen, bro. I don't know who you think you are, but my mother doesn't talk to me that way, okay? You mean nothing to me. So, I called him every name that I could think of, and screaming. It's like Prussian man versus German Irish girl. Like, I mean, we were screaming. I said, you can take this job and shove it right up your arse butt. And I fucking walked away. I went downstairs, I punched in my card, I grabbed all my shit, and Poppy and Mark were like, please, no, because dinner rush is starting. And so, you know, there's that weird change between shifts where everything is chaotic. And I was like, nope, I'm done. Y'all can suck it. Nobody talks to me that way. I don't care who you are. Not happening, right? So I left, and my fiance at the time had come to pick me up, and when he came to get me, of course, you know, he was waiting and waiting and waiting, and then he went up to either Poppy or Mark and was like, where's Jen? And they were like, well, and it's funny because when my fiance got back to my house, he was angry at me for leaving and not letting him know. Like, I wasted my gas going up there to get you. I don't remember if we had plans that day or not, because usually I took the bus to and from work. Like, I'm a big girl, it's fine, right? I don't remember if we had plans or not, but it wasn't, I'm so sorry you had such a bad day and you got treated like that and you quit your job and what a stressful day, and, you know, here's a coffee. Like, no, there was none of that. It was, you know, you selfish, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So he almost died that day. How it was we got married, I don't know, but there's also a reason why he ain't around no more. So anyways, I gotta run into the Walmart. That's my story for today. A story time. We haven't done a story time in a good long while. So anybody watching, thank you. I appreciate you. Take care of yourself. Talk later. Oh, leave in the comments your crappiest job. What was your worst job you ever had, and how did you handle that? I would love to know. Talk to you later. Bye.